nuts.
Well, hello, children. Welcome to Film Junkie Live. Hello. Hopefully you guys are doing good. It's hump day. Let's get the hump in, huh? Hit that like, thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, share. Do all the things. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about some things. Let's talk about some DC, some AI, some Kraven, and some Jim Carrey. Because why not? So, everybody good? Is everything running well? Let's double check and make sure everything's good. Everything should be good, great, grand, right? Always got to make sure because you never know. Let's see. Is that even working? I think it's working. Is it working? It's working. All right. Repost that. And that's all right. How we doing out there? All right. We got Ryan right here. I love it when haters freak out. Yeah, over something they didn't do. That's right. Oh, we got Ninja Gamer right here. Ayer cut had a trend on 2.5 to get studio's attention. You mocked me, saying you should talk Ayer cut like you do Snyder fans. I mocked you. Okay. But you mentioned them every Film Junkie Live. Here comes the hyperbole, folks. You mentioned them every Film Junkie Live since, and only talked Ayer cut to criticize a trend you never publicize. I have no idea what the fuck you were talking about, Ninja Gamer. I really don't. Oh, man. I don't talk about it in every Film Junkie Live. Maybe the only ones you watch. Or again, it's hyperbole. I get it. You're doing a hyperbole thing. And this is not me mocking you. I'm just pointing out the facts. And I did, if you watched Monday's show, I did a whole topic talking about the Ayer cut, showing off what Ayer put out there, what everything was put out there. I mean, the only criticizing I had was the fact that the timing was felt like it was a little, weird, but that's about it, because I talked to other people who were involved, who are also fans that really didn't like the whole timing about it either. They were just kind of wondering if he did go rogue and then, stuff like that. So I don't know. Anyways, that's it. That's all. That's all, buddy. What's going on, Ghostly Visitor? Good to see you. We got Axel right here. We also got RJ. We got Versus Seed. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah. People are quiet today. But hopefully everything should be running. Because sometimes you guys are a little noisier. But I don't know. Maybe it's just not getting out there. I don't know. The algorithm's against me. That's all. Let's see. Yeah, there's not really much. Wow, that's weird. Yeah, the algorithm probably just sucks today, so it's not out there all that much. But yeah, and there's some updates too when it comes to the Ayer cut. He's posting more stuff that we'll talk about too. Going live. I'm gonna post this real quick. And I apologize to you guys for on Monday's show. On Monday's show, like I didn't do the questions part because I just was trying to get the stream over with because my nose, man. I tell you what, it's probably the worst head cold I've ever had. One of the worst, that's for sure. I haven't had a head cold like this. It's still kind of there, but it's better. It's just, man, I thought I was going to be okay for Monday's show, but man, my nose just started running again. So I was just wanting to get done with, so that's why I didn't do the questions part at the end of Monday's show. So yeah, I just rushed and got off, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to do that. So we'll start off. I'll answer those questions right off the bat. We'll just do that. I'll just answer those questions that I forgot to get to. So that's weird. The email notification and regular notification all went out. Okay, so maybe that's why. Yeah. See, I don't know. It was like usually it's a little bit more jumping into the chat right there, RJ. So maybe what's going on, Music Man? What's going on? Let's see. Where can you get? Yeah, just shop for it. I think I got it off the DC shop. I'm pretty sure I got it off the DC shop. So you just find that. What's going on, Music Man? And yes, of course, thoughts on Kraven is worth watching. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it tomorrow. Me and my dad are actually going to go see it tomorrow, but I will be, diving into some of those reviews that came about. So, we'll start off right off the bat since I missed out on Monday's questions, and I'm just going to answer them real quick for you right here. So the first one, I forgot to change the background, of course. Let me change the background. Failing. There we go. Anyways, all right, so the first one was Eric. So in Zack's interview about AI art, he brought up the idea of making big screen movies for Universal. Is he hinting at something? Universal is where Nolan is doing films right now. Yeah, but Zack is at Netflix right now. I mean, maybe in the future, but right now it's all Netflix. So I didn't really take that as something. Darkness Under the Wind, Dave, question 1. Which antagonist Green Lantern Corps would you like to be introduced in DCU? The Yellow or Red Lanterns? I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. I mean, it'd be cool if it was the Red Lanterns, maybe. But, what can you do? Question 2, with Chris Evans confirmed to be in Avengers Doomsday, would you want him to play a role of Normal Cap, Hydra Cap, Johnny? I mean, I kind of like the idea that he could be like a Hydra Cap. It could be a villain or something like that. There's some theories. Do you think in the end of Waller's show we will see her create the Checkmate organization, forcing some villains to work for her? Well, that could be something. That'd be pretty sweet. I think there has been mention of Checkmate, right? Been a little hints or something, because isn't there a character that's in Peacemaker Season 2 that is part of Checkmate? Question 4, from what we saw from that shot of Superman, Peacemaker, and other heroes dead, do you think we are already getting a build-up for the first Justice League movie in the DCU, or the final one to end the first saga? There could be something. There could be something that's paving the way. Devon Wooter, Dave, who's your favorite character so far in Creature Commandos? Are you surprised? Do you think we are going to get Season 2? I mean, there's a possibility. I think my favorite character so far, I got kind of like Rick Flag, but I think we're, I'm just kind of liking him right now at first, but I'm sure like the next episode and a few episodes in, I'll probably start liking the other characters. Are you surprised that Chris Evans is coming back? No. And what's your favorite scene in X-Men 1? Probably just, I don't know, anything with Wolverine in it. Cooper Knox, simple, elegant, straight to the point. That's, Superman logo. Okay, so there you go. There you go, just answering those questions that I forgot to answer, that I didn't answer on Monday's show. And again, apologize for that. So now we can get to the tweets. Hey, Stephanie T's here. Good to see you. And we got Patrick Childs as well. So good to see you guys. All right. All right. So obviously it's the Christmas season, and we got Devon Sawa right here. He decided to post his, I guess you could say, the movies that he watches during Christmas, and I wanted to bring it up because I was like wondering about what you guys feel. So this is like, he posted this image right here. What the heck? Does that back? Oh, that is back. Never mind. Okay, so he posted this right here when it came to this. So we got Christmas Vacation. That is a must. So when it comes to me, Christmas Vacation and Die Hard, those are like Christmas Eve movies, 100%. Gremlins, I'll fit that in there. Home Alone, of course, and Home Alone 2 as well. Scrooged, also in there. Trading Places. Now, that's not in my rotation, but I get why it's there. Nightmare Before Christmas, not really in my rotation either, but still a good choice. Lethal Weapons in my rotation for sure. And then, of course, we have Batman Returns. Yes. Ernest Saves Christmas, not necessarily. Not exactly everything, That's not exactly Ernest. I never got into the Ernest movies. I never got really into the Ernest movies, so. And, So, and then, of course, we have this. Okay, so the F1 movie, the Joseph Kosinski's F1 movie starring Brad Pitt, it finally wrapped shooting, guys. That's right. It finally wrapped shooting. Look at the production. Look at where it actually began. June of 2023. That is a long production right there. That is a long production right there. It took over a year to film this movie. And then we're talking about the inflated budget and everything like that. I'm wondering, this movie could be like a big disaster, but the trailer looks cool. I don't know. It's just like, geez, what is happening with all that? Long Kiss Goodnight, you like that? Die Hard is a Christmas movie, is a Christmas Day movie. I do it Eve. I definitely do it Eve, so, yeah. And then, of course, guys, I'm sure you guys saw the full-on trailer for 28 Years Later.
7, 6.
And looks pretty good, nicely edited, and really just shows you what's been happening in the last 28 years before the big infection happens. Does like a little bit of a recap thing, of course, that you see with like, you know, a mom freaking out and things are happening, and of course zombies showing up. This looks good. Everybody was wondering about Cillian Murphy though, because Cillian Murphy, his name is not on the poster, but we know that he's a part of it. And throughout this trailer, when you're watching and you're seeing all the craziness, and of course you see Aaron Taylor Johnson, which seems like Aaron Taylor Johnson is just showing up in everything right now. And it's just showing like all the different, then who knows what's going on right here. That looks pretty interesting. But there is a shot, there you go. So a lot of people, and now this shot right here has immediately become a meme. This little zombie dude right here has immediately become a meme, and the number one reason why it's become a meme, people think that's Cillian Murphy. People think that's his character, that his character is a zombie now. Obviously, after 28 years, he did survive the first one. He wasn't in the second one. I don't remember the second one all that much. I know that Jeremy Renner and Rose Byrne, they're in there, and it's like, obviously it takes place like a year, like 2 years later or whatever. I think it's that. Or is it weeks? It's not months, it's weeks. But, it would be kind of interesting if Cillian Murphy's character did become a zombie and he looked like that. And I was just like, wow, Cillian Murphy, he's taking this seriously. He lost a lot of weight, a ton of weight. Not a ton of weight, but he got really skinny for Oppenheimer. Now he's going Christian Bale right there. No, but apparently that's not Cillian Murphy. Apparently that's just, it's been debunked by somebody who actually worked on the movie who had a quote. It's going around online. That's not Cillian Murphy's character. Kind of looks like him, though. Kind of interesting that it does kind of look like him. If you look at his facial structure, kind of does look like him, but, it's not. Anyways, so what's going on, Jason? What's going on, Travis? Good to see you. This is a very, very beautiful, look at this cover right here for Absolute Superman number 4. Ow! That is gorgeous right there. Saw that on the feed. I still have not collected any of the. Anytime I go, I need to go to like a full-on comic book shop that's not this one that I have in the mall over here. I just haven't seeked it all out yet, but I do plan on making a run. But right now with the holidays and everything like that, I'm more doing Christmas shopping than anything. But this is an absolute beauty of a cover right here. Just the way it looks, the texture of the suit. The suit looks amazing right there. Very good. And let's see, what else we got? We got that. We don't need to see that. This is okay. So, apparently there's another Meet the Parents movie. There was Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and then Meet the Little Fockers, right? And apparently now they're in development of having a fourth movie. I'm not sure what exactly it's going to be about or who knows. I guess the kids are going to be just motherfuckers. I don't know. What the hell? I don't know. They should just have Sam Jackson in it, but just have Sam Jackson show up in it and just start calling everybody motherfuckers. But according to Deadline, Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Terry Polo, and Blythe Danner are in talks to reprise their roles. Now, is the cat coming back? That is the question. Jinx, right? Is the cat going to come back? Cat's probably not alive anymore, but hey. So do we need another one? Teenage Fockers? Yeah, I guess. Indiana Jake, yeah. Could be something right there. All right. So David Ayer update. We got a couple other things. There is a Joker's HQ account on Twitter that apparently is getting some images directly from the source. So not just from David Ayer, but he did post this, which was another angle, of course, when it comes to Harley Quinn and Joker dancing right there, very much in the Alex Ross, like the drawing that he had when it comes to them drawing right there. So we have this. So we have David Ayer, and then he's just like this account right here has been posting a lot of the behind the scenes stuff as well, and of course retweeting all the stuff. So we have a lot more, like some of the props, masks, behind the scenes, all this kind of stuff. So this one, so they've been definitely did that. Look at that. You even have a mask for Killer Croc and everything. So there's still a bunch of images that are being posted right here. And then, of course, David Ayer, he's still posting stuff. He posted this today of him holding, him holding Katana's sword right up to Captain Boomerang's neck right there. That looks a little scary, but hey, he's looking pretty serious right there. We all remember like when what's his name ran after David Ayer behind the scenes butt naked. You guys remember that? When Jai Courtney actually ran after. There's actually video of Jai Courtney running butt naked after David Ayer in like a parking lot. And then David Ayer right here said when somebody asked about am I right or wrong? In this scene, the Joker tells to Frost while he's sitting on the bed, and then they drive off with the panda guy, right? Wasn't it after Frost told the Joker that he had found Harley? Isn't that the professor's house? It would be happy if you answered it. And David Ayer actually said he threatened the judge from the secret court sentencing supervillains to Belle Reve. What? So that's what that scene was right there when it comes to the Joker on the bed right there. It was the judge that apparently was sentencing supervillains off to Belle Reve right there. So interesting little story point that you did not see in the Studio Squad. You saw that. You're only going to see that in the Ayer cut right there. So that's pretty sweet. Is my mic quiet? Of course. I'm having all kinds of difficulties right now. Why is the mic quiet? Is the mic not working that well? Test, 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 test. How's that sounding? Sounding better? All right. Just making sure. Oh, the technical difficulties. Everything's just good. Okay, so we're good now? All right. We good. All right, thank you. But anyway, so there you go. A little update when it comes to David Ayer and the Ayer cut. Pretty cool stuff. And then this is really funny right here. And kudos to the marketing team. So the marketing team for Sonic the Hedgehog has been doing a bunch of Christmas inspired posters. I don't know if you guys have seen this. They've been doing like all of them. There's so many different ones, and we won't see all of them. But they did one for like Christmas Vacation, like what are the other ones? Scrooged, and just all the Christmas classics. Home Alone. They've been doing like mock-up posters, which I think beautiful. But this is actually pretty funny right here. This I think is actually pretty brilliant right here. Ugly sweater, what? Of the original design. That's right. Ugly sweater of the original design of Sonic the Hedgehog. The design that almost took down the movie. They put it on an ugly sweater. It's so freaking awesome. Smart. It's just crazy. It's crazy how that design almost prevented a Sonic the Hedgehog movie from happening. Now we're in the third movie. You brought back Jim Carrey out of retirement and he's showing up in a third movie, and then you have that. He's coming out on Christmas time. Why not have an ugly sweater with ugly Sonic? Brilliant. Who wants to get me one, huh? Oh, let's see. What else we got? All right, we heard about this. We heard about Luca Guadagnino, what I'm talking about, the guy who directed Challengers. He might be doing Sergeant Rock for DC. He did the queer movie that just recently came out. We heard like a little while back that he was actually going to be doing a remake, I guess you could say, of American Psycho. Of course, classic American Psycho, Christian Bale. And, a lot of people are hesitant, like going, I don't know about this because, American Psycho, that's just a classic thriller movie. Well, we have our star. Austin Butler is going to be playing Patrick Bateman. That's right. That works for me. Because, everybody's kind of wondering, how are they going to do it? Are they going to do like a gender swap? Are they going to do a race swap? Are they going to, who are they going to do? I mean, I'm sure everything was on the table, but the fact that he got Austin Butler to play Patrick Bateman, especially after watching him in Dune Part 2, I think that's pretty damn good casting right there. I think that's going to be good. Let's see what else we got. And yes, guys, I don't know if anybody has been. Have you guys been going down any of the rabbit hole stuff? That's pretty much it when it comes to the tweets. Have you guys been going down any of the rabbit hole stuff? I have in the past couple of days. You see there's like videos from like especially in New Jersey, but there's videos all around. There's even videos from my area talking about all these drones that are like flying all over the place. Kind of weird shit, like people taking videos. Now, some of it is just, oh, that you're near an airport. It's just planes or whatever. But sometimes you see some videos and you're like, wow, these are like, different kind of flying objects that look like drones. What the fuck is going on? Very interesting stuff. I've been going down some rabbit holes and everything like that. And then, of course, people just naturally go, well, it's drones, so they got to be made by us. But then I was watching somebody. See, and this is where I started getting all Mulder, like Fox Mulder or something like that, or I start putting on my tinfoil hat. Is some people, or some of the people who were talking about this thought, well, if it is in fact the ETs, if it is in fact aliens, it would actually be super smart if they used drones that look like our drones, because then everybody would just brush it off like, it's just drones, probably some military thing. Nobody would worry right before they attack or they invade. And then the internet. A lot of outages happened today. Social media, a lot of outages happening today. Interesting. Yeah, who knows? It's probably nothing. In fact, they probably are. I think there's already, they said it might be. I don't know. It is kind of freaky, though, that all the videos that have been seeing when it comes to these drones like flying everywhere. It's a little strange. I guess we'll see. It's probably China. It's China. China. All right. Anyways, okay. Enough about that. Yeah, it could be. I think I saw something where they were thinking it might be Iran too. I don't know. It's all just very strange. But hey, what could you do? All right, let's talk about some DCU news and everything. Let's see. There was not really much right here. Nothing new that's going to be posted that's happened in the last couple of days. We do have an interview, of course, because Pierre is, of course, doing press junkets and interviews for Mufasa. That's going to be coming out next week. So, we have little things right here of him being asked. Looking sharp.
I have to ask about Green Lantern. So what can you safely tease?
I was actually so excited.
What can you safely tease about lanterns that won't get either of us in trouble?
Wow, not much. But what I can tell you is that the team are just super, super excited to have this opportunity to bring this story to the people. And so far as I'm concerned, I'm going to do my very best to serve and honor and elevate in any way I can John Stewart and the Green Lantern Corps, and hopefully I serve that and it resonates with the people.
Can you at least tell me what your Green Lantern homework's looking like?
Extensive.
Now,
Extensive, as it should be. That's good, yeah. That voice of his, he's got that deep, he's gonna have a presence. And then, of course, he's got those piercing eyes, man. Jesus Christ, those eyes, too. Those eyes are pretty gnarly, too. And then, let's see. But, yeah, I think he's going to be a great John Stewart. I think they picked the right guy for the job, for sure. And like I said, he was already he's already part of the DC family because he was part of Krypton. I forgot he was in that movie, that M. Night Shyamalan movie called Old, which, the idea was there, but the execution wasn't quite. Like, it started off good, ended good, but the middle part was a little off, But I forgot he was also in that movie. But yeah, I think he's going to be a great John Stewart. All right. And then the only other thing I wanted to talk about. So when did Snyder fans all of a sudden become church ladies? Some, not all. I'm just saying some. But I'm just saying, we got this video right here that just, I don't know. The reaction to this video right here, like, angered some people. Pearl clutching anger, just a little bit. Like, when it came to this, well, if you haven't seen the video, here's the video right here. Awkward. Shall we watch it again? Anybody else hard? All right. So that was posted by James Gunn, and he said, I promised I'd post the behind-the-scenes Rick Flag and Princess Alana's love scene with Frank Grillo and Maria Bakalova from Creature Commandos. Well, here you go. So there it is. He promised, and there it is right there. And I remember when he posted that, I was like, oh, why are you going to post that? Immediately, I was like, why are you going to post that? Interesting. But what was interesting, though, then I started laughing about it because I'm like, geez, how awkward was doing that. And then, to see like voice acting where you actually have to do that. And I remember hearing in interviews before from people talking about voice acting. It's like when you're doing a kissing scene, yes, you literally have to make out with your hand. That has got to be just very awkward and weird and everything. So, but what was interesting though is like when I started seeing people, including people who have big platforms, that were accusing James Gunn of posting this without her consent as if it was some kind of sex tape. What are we doing here? I mean, people were doing that, like saying that there was no consent right there, and it was just like, wow, we're actually going to be going that far now. We're going to freak out that much about it. And of course, she posted on her Instagram about it. She was all about it. They were literally talking about it during press junkets and everything, and how awkward it was. And he did promise that he said he was going to post it, and he lived up to that promise right there. So, yeah, it was just kind of interesting. It caused like a whole crazy discourse, as everything does when it comes to James Gunn and everything. And I'm like, okay, yeah, are people overreacting? Yes. Did he post it and was it weird? Yes, it was also weird. Like, I didn't really care for it. I didn't need to see that. But, it was a running joke through the press junkets. Okay, fine. Interesting. And my first thought was like, just imagine like, hey, you get a role in the DCU, and then, you tell your family like, hey, how was the first day at the job? And then you see that video. Yeah, that'd be awkward. That'd be awkward at the Christmas Eve dinner table. That's for damn sure. But, that's the joke I made. But, man, it was just... It was interesting seeing the response. And then another thing I was thinking about, too, when it came to all this, because, first off, obviously, the whole thing about, like, consent and all this, it was just very strange. And then, obviously, it's like a lot of the diehard Snyder fans, of course, making a big stink out of this. And I'm like, dude, just not even like a month, maybe a month and a half ago, we just had Zack talking about Batman and sex and superheroes and stuff like that. I'm like, why all of a sudden you guys became like, you guys went to, yeah, Zack, sex and superheroes, sex and all this, to like Bible thumpers, like, how dare you? But I'm like, oh yeah, but it's James Gunn. I get it. And then I was kind of thinking about this too. And I was thinking about this when all this was, when I was looking at the responses and everything. It's like, okay, so at first it was like when James Gunn came in, it was like, oh God, he's just going to make everything like Marvel. It's going to be like family friendly. It's going to be this, going to be that. And now the DCU starting off, and it's not family friendly. It's not like Marvel. Yes, it's a little weird that it's starting off with an adult cartoon. Sure, I give you that. But at the same time, it's not doing this. And you hating that too? It was supposed to be this at one point. Now it's this. And now he's like just posting jokes, a joke behind the scenes thing. And I'm like, why are we freaking out about this? But hey, what could he do? It's just people having fun. Yes, it's weird. It's a little cringy. Sure, I'll give you that. I'm like, it didn't need to be posted. But it was during the press junkets right there. But you know what? Let's just relax a little bit, folks. It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I don't think there's going to be any ADR, behind the scenes of Superman of like them going, that's just got to be weird though, man. And it's funny too, because you got Frank Grillo. You could see him in that video as well, doing that. But yeah, it was just kind of funny seeing the reaction. This is the CEO of DC Studios. What? It was like, who cares? Yeah, he can post whatever he wants. I do like the fact that he's like, fucking hell, why not? But it's just kind of funny. It's like, come on, guys. It's all good. Sex and superheroes is great. Remember when Zack posted Batman eating out Catwoman? And he said canon. Hell yeah. Let's bring some more sex into superheroes and everything. Why not? I don't know. I like it when he just like throw a curveball like that. Now, I don't think like Zack would actually post like some kind of behind the scenes something like that. He probably wouldn't unless there was some kind of running joke. But if you guys watch Twilight of the Gods, there's pretty graphic sex that happens in there. Oh boy. So let's not clutch the pearls when it's James Gunn, all right? Let's relax a little bit. Let's not be so uptight. Anyways. All right, so that's pretty much all the DC stuff. That's all the DC stuff. What's going on, Rhea? Glad to see people dunk on pearl clutches over this. Being sensitive Nancy on the internet never ends up in her favor. Droga, how old is the princess? Okay, you bring up another point too, you know. You bring up another point too because there were people, and hopefully you don't fit in this category, Mr. Droga, but a lot of people were trying to pin that the princess was underage. That was another thing too that they were trying to pin. Like, isn't she underage? James Gunn answered that. How old is Princess Alana in Creature Commandos? Probably around Maria Bakalova's age. So however old she is, maybe a year or two off of that. That was another thing too. And I'm just like, you guys are embarrassing yourselves if you're doing this. There are so many people that just want this thing to fail. You know, kudos to the people. You know, I will say this. Kudos to the people, the friends that I made that are not all about the DCU and James Gunn, because they're not fans. So they're like they just stop talking about it. Maybe every now and again they'll chime in on something, but I'll see like some of the friends I make that are constantly talking about it, constantly shitting on it. And I'm just like, did you guys not learn anything from the Snyder Cut movement? You know, part of the thing was like, you know, creative freedom and allowing people to, you know, put forth their visions and not pushing back on what the filmmaker wants to do and all this stuff like that. Did we not learn, you know, anything from that? And some people didn't. Some people did, because like I said, kudos to those that said, all right, the DCU and James Gunn's not for me. I'm just going to talk about the shit I like to talk about. I'm not going to just constantly shit on this with every little thing that comes out and then wanting it to be a failure. You know, I'm like, yeah, you guys didn't learn anything. These people did. A lot of us did. So let's relax. Then, of course, there's gun defenders that go way too hard in the paint, too, sometimes. It's like, geez, okay, we get it. Don't worry, I get it, too. I get called Snyder, C-U-N-T. See you next Tuesday every now and again. Oh, yeah, they were trying to make it where she was like, yeah, they were hoping that she was like underage. So then they could put that on him too. And I was like, you guys are going way too far with this. Way too fucking far with this. That's a little too much. All right, enough talking about that. Ben Affleck, Zack Snyder. Okay, so Zack Snyder last week. And I wanted to talk about this last week, but of course, you know, with the bad cold that I got, I didn't get a chance to talk about it. So I'm talking about it right now. And hey, we got Rhea right here being awesome and sending off and giving some memberships out. I appreciate you. So in like every Wednesday we have a members only stream right after this, so you guys can pick my brain a little bit. So I appreciate that, Rhea. You're awesome. You're awesome. So let's do that. Yeah, we got the sound effect that comes about. So. Go ahead and wait for that. And while that's happening, too many sound effects. Here we go. Let's see. And then, of course, we got, thank you for the $5 super chat, Indiana Jake. Dave, do you think Cersei could be a villain in Superman? Yeah, I think there's a chance she might show up, maybe at the beginning. There's always a chance that there could be some stuff like that. And that's what the purple energy, yeah, I think that's what a lot of people were thinking. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of correlation right there. So there might be, maybe at the beginning of Superman, there might be a fight with that, which I think would actually be kind of pretty cool, to be honest. So we have breaking news. We have breaking news. What happened? Should I be looking for something? What's going on? Something happened? Is there something that got posted? What's happening? I always like it when something shows up live. Let's see. We got breaking news. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, it's happening, folks. Oh, it's happening. We're still back at DC news right here. It's happening. Holy shit. Check this out. Let's see. Check this out. It's happening, folks. Oh, boy. Hell freaking yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Fresh off the success of HBO series The Penguin, DC Studios has officially greenlit a feature film centered around Clayface, the shape-shifting Batman villain, from the script written by Dr. Sleep filmmaker Mike Flanagan. Yes! All right. So that's finally happening. We kept hearing about this. We kept hearing about it. Now does it take place? Let's see. Fresh off, blah, blah, blah. Plot details are scarce, but the filming is expected to begin early next year. Flanagan, who first pitched DC Studios on Clayface project in 2023, tweeted and then, of course, did all that. So the question is, which universe is it in? I'm guessing since Clayface makes an appearance in Creature Commandos, that this is going to be part of the DCU? Maybe? I don't know. Unless Clayface was actually going to be showing up in the Batman 2, but I don't think that's the case, and I don't think Clayface in this form fits in Matt Reeves' universe. I think the Silver Age Clayface fits in Matt Reeves' Batman universe, so I'm willing to bet that this is probably a DCU movie, and of course Mike Flanagan's going to want to do the more fantastical, shape-shifting creature Clayface right there. So, hey, that's freaking awesome right there. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. Breaking freaking news right there. But yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be DCU, right? Got to be DCU, right? Mind blown. Clayface, yeah. Clayface officially announced. That's pretty sweet. Right as we were going live. That's pretty sweet. Right as I was getting into the second subject. All right. Cool. I'm excited for that. So there you go. So that, because James Gunn did bring up the fact that, and let me see something here. So we got that, and I just realized I need to take that off because I've been wanting to take that. Let's see the box. See, where is it at? I don't know. What is it? It's called the Sorry, just adjusting things because I took away the overlay off the main shot, and I forgot to take it off here, and I can't freaking find it here. So I was gonna take it off, but I can't find it on my screen here. So yeah, I guess it stays. I guess it's staying. Where is it at? All right. Yeah, I have no idea where it's at. That's interesting. So, guess I'm not getting rid of that. All right. Sorry. Trying to do that. It's got to be DCU. Yeah, it is DC. It most likely is. Anyways, all right. So, let's get to the second subject now. All right. What do we got here? People, of course, tweeting about it. All right, Zack Snyder, Ben Affleck. I wanted to talk about this last week, but of course, with the bad head cold, it just didn't happen. And yeah, Zack Snyder was live with Wired on stage, mainly talking about AI, and of course, talking about cameras and stuff like that. But there was that IGN post that was making it, and other posts too, other headlines that were basically putting forth on the headline, saying that Zack Snyder supports AI and all this stuff like that, or basically, taking a quote out of context and essentially creating a headline that not only were Zack Snyder haters hating it, but also Zack Snyder fans were hating it, because anytime you mention AI, woo, buddy, people hate those two letters. You start mentioning AI, unless you just totally say like, nope, then people get angry with you. I've posted clips on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and everything like that where I've talked about AI, and yeah, there's just people just get pissed. They just get pissed if you start mentioning anything about AI. And I've said it before that I've utilized AI as a tool before, whether I need I need a certain image, can't really find it, and I need it for like the thumbnail. So I'll type it in and try to get a good image, cut it out, put it within the thumbnail. I don't create the entire thumbnail with it, but if I need a certain something, yes, I'll do that. When it comes to me editing my clips, I use technology, AI type technology within my editor to do all the subtitles, because I'm not going to sit there and try to write everything that I'm saying. That's going to take forever. So I utilize certain tools when it comes to YouTube. I don't full on make, there are people that make full on videos though. That's bullshit. And you find those videos, full on videos where everything is completely AI. And there's even people that post videos doing a tutorial about that. That's where the humanity gets totally taken away from, at least when it comes to doing YouTube and everything, and I don't condone that whatsoever. But let's first listen to Ben Affleck talking about AI. And this was like probably about a month ago, maybe a little less than a month ago, but not too long ago.
I want to, as we kind of wrap up here, I do want to come back to AI. Jerry, you mentioned it, but you know, Ben, how did earlier you guys weren't here? We did a demonstration. My colleague Andrew Sorkin and I recreated ourselves and our voices. How do you see it? I mean, is it a benefit or is it a real threat? Is it possible that a Netflix could say, you know, we're going to do our own, James Bond thing out there with a bunch of actors that are completely recreated for this market or that market?
A, that's not possible now. B, will it be possible in the future? Highly unlikely. C, movies that will be one of the last things, if everything gets replaced, to be replaced by AI. AI can write you excellent imitative verse. That sounds Elizabethan. It cannot write you Shakespeare. The function of...
I love that right off the bat. It can imitate something and write you a verse, but it cannot write Shakespeare. Love that.
Having two actors or three or four actors in a room and the taste to discern and construct that is something that currently entirely eludes AI's capability, and I think will for a meaningful period of time. What AI is going to do is going to disintermediate the more laborious, less creative, and more costly aspects of filmmaking that will allow costs to be brought down, that will lower the barrier to entry, that will allow more voices to be heard, that will make it easier for the people who want to make Good Will Huntings to go out and make it. Look, AI is a craftsman. At best, craftsmen can learn to, make stickly furniture by sitting down next to somebody and seeing what their technique is and imitating. That's how large video models, large language models, basically work. A library of vectors of meaning and transformers that interpret context, right? But they're just cross-pollinating things that exist. Nothing new is created.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. And really, in order to do that, look. Craftsman is knowing how to work. Art is knowing when to stop.
Love that right there. Craftsman is knowing how to work, and then, of course, knowing how to stop. See, he's very much giving the idea of, like, you'll never have the humanity, put into something. It's put into whether it's just like making a table or whatever the hell. But when it comes to at least filmmaking or even like video making, it's never gonna, if you could always feel it. Anytime I'm scrolling through those videos and I know it's full on AI, there's nothing there. You hear that same voice and you see the same like kind of art, and it just, it kind of loses something. I just scroll right past it.
And I think knowing when to stop is going to be a very difficult thing for AI to learn, because it's taste. And also lack of consistency, lack of controls, lack of quality. AI for this world of generative video is going to do key things more. I wouldn't like to be in the visual effects business. They're in trouble, because what costs a lot of money is now going to cost a lot less.
See, that's where it's going to really have an effect, is when it comes to VFX houses. They're going to be utilizing a lot, and that's the effect big time that it's going to have, for sure.
And it's going to hammer that space, and it already is. And maybe it shouldn't take 1,000 people to render something, but it's not going to replace human beings making films. It may make your background more convincing. It can change the color of your shirt. It can fix mistakes that you've made. It can make it, you might be able to get 2 seasons of House of the Dragon in a year instead of 1. And if that happens, according to macroeconomics, in, cultures where there are basically oligopolies competing, what should happen is, with the same demand and the same spend, is they should just make more shows, which should, you should have the same spend, and now you can just watch more episodes. And eventually AI will allow you to ask for your own episode of Succession, where you could say, I'll pay $30, and can you make me a 45-minute episode where, like, Kendall gets the company and runs off and has an affair with Stewie? And it'll do it. And it'll be a little janky and a little bit weird, but it'll know their stats, it'll know those actors, and it will, remix it in effect,
Right.
and it will do that. That's the value, in my view, long-term of AI for consumers, which is eventually my hope for AI is that it's an additional revenue stream that can replace DVD, which took 15 to 20% out of the economy of filmmaking, which is, and there should be negotiated rights and
That's a
visual
key
rights
part
to
of
say,
it.
if you want to, because what do people want to make? 5-minute, 30-second TikTok videos where they look like the Avengers. Well, great. You can, just like you used to be able to buy your Iron Man costume at the store, you're going to buy your Iron Man pack, and you and your buddies are going to look like Iron Man and Hawkeye, on Twitch. That's what's going to really happen.
There you go. So, I mean, yeah, he brings up a lot of good points. Spitting out some, that's the thing. It's just one of those things where it's just, you're going to be able to hey, create something, sure, and pay for it and whatever. And that's the big thing right there is like, what everybody worries about is like people, of course, losing their jobs and everything like that. And of course, it's going to have a huge effect on VFX houses and everything like that. And there's going to have to be some adaptation when it comes to that. And it's just one of those things where Ben Affleck, remember back in like the early 2000s when he was talking about, and he was essentially talking about Netflix and how that was going to be, before Netflix was a thing. Him and Matt Damon used to talk about the DVD sales and all this stuff. So he's pretty much got his finger to the pulse when it comes to all of this stuff. And, the fact of the matter is, it's like, hey, it is going to be a part. Companies are going to use it, and there's just got to be a way that, we got to, I guess you could say, adapt a little bit right there. Let's see. We got some. Let's see. Real Anarchy AI will be a part of the film workflow, whether people like it or not. Studios will make this requirement since it will be cost-effective, allowing them to deliver a $300 million movie film for a fraction of the cost. Yeah, and like he said right here too. Is okay. So are you able to get so if you're able to get 2 House of the Dragon seasons done in a year, that means you just add more. That means you could do more. You could do more and more. So now because that's obviously what they want, like companies want to give you more, but sometimes this stuff takes forever. So if AI can help bring the time limit down for how long it takes, maybe that could be something there. And then, of course, you just keep on creating, keep on doing more. Instead of just getting 2 seasons in 3 years, you get 2 seasons in 1 year. That can also push things forward, for sure. We got Joe right here. God, I swear, this cold is like the worst thing. Can't seem to shake it fully. Always just, anyways, it's hard to get excited for Superman. Jesus. Trying to get it out of there. It's hard to get excited for Superman when the attitude towards it is using it as a way to shit on Snyder's vision. Let's see. It's hard to get excited for Superman when the attitude towards it is using it as a way to shit on Snyder's vision. So what do you mean? Okay. So you're thinking Gunn is using it as a way to shit on Snyder? Or that's what I'm kind of wondering. Are you talking about Gunn fans using it a way to shit on Snyder? Because if the fans are doing that, which they are, just ignore them. Who gives? Fuck them. If you're excited for Superman, you're excited for Superman. But if you're not excited for Superman, and other people are getting excited for Superman, you don't have to kill their joy, I guess. They mean the fans. Yeah, the fans do that. Yeah, just ignore them. And I know there's people. I mean, the engaging is one thing. If you start engaging, it's just then what happens? I mean, that's why sometimes I just stop engaging. Don't engage, and yeah, you're gonna get that. Anyways, God, this is one of the worst colds I've ever had. Just doesn't want to shake up. Anyways, okay. Now, I have a clip from Snyder's interview. Now, we're not going to go over entirely everything, but this was a good point that he brought up right here when it comes to technology and the evolution of technology.
In the same way that when, we all, because look, every single person has a pretty good camera.
Mm-hmm. On their phone.
Pretty good camera on their phone. Every
Yeah.
single person. A pretty good movie camera.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
a legit movie camera. And yet, we don't have, right this second anyway, maybe that'll change. I hope it does. But we don't have like millions of awesome movies just being uploaded out of people's pockets. I feel like the AI represents another tool that will help us make movies awesome, I hope. And it's been my experience that certainly as a research tool and a little bit as an image making tool, I found it really interesting.
So again, so this is what Zack's pretty much saying right here. Is like we all have one of these, and we know that Zack has made like a short film using one of these. And he's kind of basically just talking about, the evolution of technology. I mean, it is kind of interesting. I always find myself, it is interesting when you think about it. When you think about something like this, like say you're at a friend's house, or you're somewhere, and you guys are sitting around the TV. And this happened to me this past weekend. And we're watching football, and then I'm looking around, and everybody's on their phone. All of a sudden, it was like because there was like 3 other people, and everybody was on their phone. I wasn't on the phone, but then I went, well. But it's funny, they're looking at little screens. I'm looking at a big screen. So technically, we're all looking at screens, the TV's just been here longer, So, and you see like some of those old like pictures from people on the bus, obviously before phones, and everybody's got a newspaper and stuff like that. It's just everything just kind of evolves. And, Zack brings up a good point. It's like everybody has a really good camera on their phone, but do we have like a million, fucking movies all over the place? No. I mean, of course we have content, we have vlogs, we have all this kind of stuff, but we don't have like these big, huge professional made movies just all over the place, because even though the technology is there, it's not like it's just going to just totally just take over the space. And he likes, in what he says, he uses it as a tool. He's used things to look up things just like I have, just like a lot of us have had. And he basically, like, going on, into this interview, he does mention that when you watch a movie, you want to find the humanity in it. This is similar to what Ben Affleck was talking about, that, yeah, you could write a verse, you could have it write a verse, but you can't get Shakespeare, and it's always about the humanity, because that's what people want. And that's what AI is not going to replace. It's never going to replace that. But like what Affleck said, it's like a tool. Zack is saying it's like a tool, because instead of like not utilizing it, and not just like utilizing the tool to help, I guess you could say, you're just going to be sitting on the sidelines with your arms crossed. Let's not do that. Don't just be doing that where you're just letting it run the whole thing, or you're just not utilizing it at all. So it's going to be a useful tool. Hopefully it doesn't get abused. It will. And that's where certain things got to be like, this is where Hollywood and everybody's got to like really figure all that out. And I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that, bring that up. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. The technology is weird, but we always seem to adapt. And other things come about. And no matter what, I think everybody agrees that when it comes to watching any kind of content, there's the human level. The human factor is always what we're looking for, not just some freaking robot. I mean, it's kind of funny too, because the AI on my phone, the Gemini, it's got the live version that I got now. It's kind of creepy, because when I talk to it now, it doesn't just sound like a robotic voice. It sounds like an actual person, like you're having an actual conversation with a person. Getting a little freaky, I will say that. Like you actually hear you hear him take like a breath. It's interesting. It's very interesting when you talk to that kind of stuff now. So, all crazy. 28 years later, was filmed on an iPhone 6. Yeah, wasn't that the whole thing? But I think they put a bunch of different kind of stuff on the rig and everything. So I think they enhanced it. It wasn't like, freaking Danny Boyle just doing this. So anyways, it's just what it is, folks. Can't freak out about it. But like I said, but if we're having, and then sometimes, yeah, there's people that abuse it, like especially when you have like people who are, doing some art, some concept art and stuff like that, and they're actually doing that. I mean, obviously they could use little tools from AI to maybe help them with it. Like I said, sometimes when I need like an image, like a certain look or something like that, I'll type it in, cut it out, and put it within the thumbnail. I'm not creating the entire thumbnail, but but I know that there was some artist that I used to show his artwork, because I thought it was cool, but then he started getting called out because he was using entire AI. And I was like, ooh, shit. Probably shouldn't show his artwork anymore, and I haven't seen it anymore. So maybe he's done now because he kind of got busted. So those are the things that should be called out for sure. Using it as a tool when it comes to art and helping it out a little bit, fine. Backgrounds, I've used it for backgrounds. You know, Photoshop has a feature where you could just create like a different kind of background. You know, you need like a certain background, boom, it puts it there. Not copywritten, anything like that. It's pretty cool. All right. Kraven the Hunter. Who's going to go see Kraven the Hunter this weekend? Well, I'm going to go see it tomorrow. So look forward to my first reaction review. Am I expecting it to blow my mind? No. I'm expecting to see some graphic violence, a generic Spider-Man villain movie that's not going to push the needle on anything. I'm going to see Aaron Taylor Johnson's fucking abs and be jealous. That's about it. But, of course, the reviews are in, and I was kind of wondering if they were going to save the reviews for the night before, or the night of, I should say, when the early releases happen. By the way, like the showings tomorrow start at 2 o'clock. They are trying to get it. They are trying to get, like, they're trying to put it on many screens as possible, then just get it right out. I'm sure it's not going to be it's probably going to be on a streaming service. It's probably going to be on Paramount Plus or whatever the fuck, probably by like the first week of January. Anyways, currently at a 16%. Of course it is. Yeah, you knew it was going to be bad. Whoops, did I click the right thing? No, I did not. There we go. View all. 51 reviews. All right. So, I mean, you know, there's a couple of good ones in here. Here we go. Like Catwoman, Kraven is a misstep. We should all forget the moment we turn our eyes away from it. Overall, Kraven, the Hunter, works when it goes full-on R-rated action, but works the least in everything else. We got a good review right here from Mashable. This bonkers superhero movie is at its best when it embraces its most bizarre elements. In those moments, Kraven the Hunter is chaotic fun that's an absolute blast to see on the big screen. With generally awesome action from skilled director J.C. Chandor, plus a swaggering Aaron Taylor Johnson at his most charismatic, it clears the admittedly low bar of being the best Sony's Marvel spin-offs. Wow, the best of it. Crazy. The misfire, Kraven the Hunter has a lion-inspired superhero and wildlife protection theme, so it's ironic that this mind-numbing film acts like a drugged lion trapped in a cage. It stumbles repeatedly and is barely coherent. Textbook bad movie behavior, but that doesn't mean there's not a good helping of true what-the-fuck fun to be had. I like that. Latest super villain saga boasts solid action, cringe-inducing dialogue. Yes. And then finally, the Spider-Man spinoff is entertaining. The action sequences hold together. Blood gushes frequently, and Aaron Taylor Johnson dons a midriff-bearing costume. But it's also convoluted and full of extraneous characters. There you go. It'll be fun, maybe. I don't know. Me and my dad are going to go see it. We'll have fun with it. Ugh. Whew. Sorry. I just looked down and I saw Scott Mendelson. You guys remember Scott Mendelson, the critic? His profile picture. He still has that same profile picture. He looks very kind of evil looking. You guys know what I'm talking about? Scott Mendelson. Kind of sounds like a little Nicky. Adam Sandler. Anyways. Okay. Now that I'm done with that. Jim Carrey. Remember he said a while back that he was going through an interesting time, that he said he was basically done. He was done. He was retiring. He's no longer doing this, and basically was just criticizing the whole thing, where it kind of made you a little worried about Jim Carrey. I'm not going to lie. When he was saying stuff like, Jim Carrey is a character. Jim Carrey plays other characters, and he was basically referring to himself as a character that he puts in interviews while he's just being out and about and talking to people, and he's like, oh, that's an act. Everything is And then so it was kind of like, it was a little interesting because you always worry about that, especially when it comes to comedic geniuses. I mean, look what happened with Robin Williams. I mean, and there's been other comedians and comedic geniuses even in the past that, they go too soon. And I think a lot of us were kind of worried, like what was happening with Jim Carrey. He's walking away from acting. He's doing a lot of painting. He was saying a lot of interesting stuff. And it was like, oh man, is there are we going to wake up one of these days and we're going to find out something bad happened with Jim Carrey? Thankfully, that has not happened. And then, of course, coming back for the Sonic movies, which again, it still boggles my mind that when it comes to these Sonic movies, they were almost just totally just with that bad design that we originally saw in that trailer, almost just blew the whole thing apart. Thankfully, they redesigned it, and now we have the third movie where Jim Carrey not only plays one character, but two characters, which I'm just like, holy crap, cannot wait to see that. But Jim Carrey, oh crap, what happened? Uh-oh, what happened here? Sorry, I'm still having technical difficulties. I just lost my chat, just lost the chat windows. So I can't see the chat. Why did that happen? Stupid thing. All right, well, I'm just having all kinds of technical difficulties today. Am I still on? I don't know what's going on with my computer today. It's acting stupid. Too much crap. Hold on, let me see if I should still be on, but I totally lost my chat window. Let's see. Oh, I could have just reloaded that. Yeah, she still shows me on. Jesus Christ. What is going on with this thing today? Yeah, it's time for a new freaking computer. Yeah, we're good. Still on. All right. I don't know why the chat window just went wonky for a minute there, so I'll just bring it back out so we're good. Gotta love technology, right? After I was just talking about AI. See, AI is taking over the stream here, guys. But here's Jim Carrey joking about, of course, coming back out of retirement at the London premiere of Sonic.
You've said in a past interview that you will come back if you get a script written in gold ink by angels.
Yeah.
Is this the script?
That might have been hyperbole, but yeah. I came back to this universe because, first of all, I get to play a genius, which is a bit of a stretch. It's just, I bought a lot of stuff and I need the money. Frankly.
He bought a lot of stuff. He needs money. Yeah, obviously he's joking right there, but it just kind of shows you, too, that he probably just, he enjoys playing the character because it's a goofy character. One of the things about, playing Dr. Robotnik is the fact that he's 90s Jim Carrey, and I'm sure he has a lot of fun doing it. But there were some interesting things that he was also talking about in interviews as well when it came to people asking about, when it came to people asking about other movies that he'd do a follow-up on, I wanted to talk about. First off, let's just show this image right here. Two goats right there. Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves. We forget that Keanu Reeves is in there. Of course, they didn't share any screen time together, but there needs to be a movie with these two, right? There needs to be a movie right here. But yeah, two goats right there. But he did, when asked by comicbook.com, he was asked about doing a Grinch sequel. Now, if you remember, he did not have a good time when it came to the Grinch because of all the makeup that he put on. I mean, it was like 4 to 5 hours of makeup. He could barely breathe. With all that, though, you watch the live-action Grinch, he fucking nails it because that's Jim Carrey for you. But one of the things he did say, he said, when it came to that, I did that with a ton of makeup and could hardly breathe. It was an extremely excruciating process. But he said that now with technology, now that technology is a little bit better, you probably wouldn't have to do so much of that anymore, where it's like, yeah, you might still have to wear something, but then you might just have to put some mocap dots on, and Bob's your freaking uncle right there. I mean, look at Planet of the Apes and all that kind of stuff. So if they were to do something, I don't think there's going to be a Grinch sequel. But if they were to do something like that, he'd be down because guess what? He probably wouldn't have to be sitting in the makeup chair all that much. And then he also talked about doing a sequel to another movie, which is The Mask. Somebody asked him about The Mask. Now, you guys have heard me talk about, I love The Mask. I have The Mask right there. the Loki mask from the movie right there hanging up. Love it. It was, growing up, it was one of my all-time favorite movies. Still, one of my all-time favorite movies. Love the mask. But as a fan of the original movie and a fan of the source material, I want them to do a reboot, essentially, because they did do a sequel, Son of the Mask, which was awful. Jamie Kennedy, and oh, God, it was awful. Anyways, try to forget that. Try to forget that movie ever existed. Jesus Christ. I would want it to be more like the source material, because if you don't know, if you haven't read the original Mask books, I mean, it is R-rated, it is graphic, it is fourth wall breaking, of course, which, the movie was that too. It's not family friendly. It's not family friendly at all. And after Deadpool came out, I was like, all right, where are we going to actually get a reboot to the Mask and have like a legit reboot, big head, him killing people, doing all that stuff? As much as I would love to see Jim Carrey come back and maybe even do something like that, I highly doubt that would actually be the case, but you never know. But I would rather have a legit reboot, but, you never know. But if they do end up doing, if they were to come to Jim Carrey and be like, hey, we got this idea for a sequel, here it is, and blah, blah. I actually would rather them do a third Ace Ventura than another Mask. I don't know. Ace Ventura in his golden years. That'd be interesting. I think another Ace Ventura would be better. I mean, Dumb and Dumber 2, when him and Jeff Daniels came back, yeah, that one wasn't all that great. That was pretty forgetful, and it just didn't really work. Just really didn't work, honestly. So, but another Ace Ventura, I wonder. And I remember hearing like that there was possibly going to be another, like they were thinking about it, and I don't know. But another Ace Ventura would be pretty sweet. Other than that, I'd rather have like, hey, let's do a legit version of the Mask instead. Anyways. What are we talking about here? Okay, we got Droga. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Rumor Chris Chan is expected to make a cameo. Source is my nightmare. Who is Chris Chan? Jack Black as Big the Cat. Who are we talking about here? Chris Chan. I know that name, but I can't remember who exactly is that. Who is... Let's see, Chris Chan. Who are we talking about here? I don't know who Chris Chan is. You're going to have to clarify that. It's better that you don't know who Chris Chan is. Yeah, who is Chris Chan? I mean, it sounds familiar, but I'm like at a loss here. And cameo in what? Chris Chan is a lolcow meme. Guy made Sanachu. One of the most infamous internet Sonic fans. Okay. Not part of the Sonic universe here, so not part of the Sonic universe, Sonic fandom, so I don't know who that is exactly. So sorry. Squid Game Season 2 coming out soon. Yeah, definitely is. Can't wait for that. All right, let's get to some questions here. Twitter questions, and then we'll do the members only. And then, of course, Scott and I will be doing DC Fanimated in about 48 minutes. All right. Let's see, Eric. So in Zack's interview about AI art, I brought up the idea of making... Yeah, I already answered this at the beginning, Eric. I did those questions at the beginning. Basically, what I said was, I don't think he meant anything by it, because he's doing his next movies with Netflix. I think he just used it as an example. I don't think we got to put on anything with that. P.S. I love making AI art myself. Gets pretty interesting. Holy shit, what the hell did you make right here? Donald Trump with a turkey at McDonald's. Oh, Jesus Christ. You love me a Big Mac. That's right. Eating with my turkey friend here. Gobble, gobble. And we got Axel right here. Doing some... Is this part of your motion comic that you're doing right there? Showing Batman and Robin kicking some Joker henchman ass right there. That's pretty sweet. I like that. Are you using AI? Just kidding. Just kidding. I mean, if you use it to help, it's no wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, with the Sonyverse officially ending with Kraven releases, do you see this as being a step closer to Marvel Studios possibly taking the rights of Spider-Man back? Nah, I don't think they'll ever take the rights fully back. Nah, they want to hold on to that because they still make money. They're still making money off of it. And then Devon Wooter, Dave, I'm just mad, sick, and tired of people getting mad at James Gunn for no reason. How come no one did complain about Deadpool got pegged by Vanessa? And did you hear the news that Jonathan Major's ex-girlfriend just dropped charges? Do you think he will make movies again? Yeah, they'll probably bring him back again. Yeah, I heard about that. The charges were dropped and everything. I think he's actually... Isn't he married now to that one girl too that he was seeing? I think he's full on getting married and everything like that. So, what about Rebel Moon Part 3? Good question. I'm kind of wondering if they're gonna wait for this next movie to be. I don't know. Everything's just kind of in the dark right now. I mean, we've heard about the LAPD movie when it comes to Zack. Who knows what's happening? Maybe like right after that. Or while he's doing that, yeah, like Rebel Moon Part 3 is going to be, the next thing right after that. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. Like I said, I was getting worried that maybe Netflix and Zack, maybe things weren't lining up. I don't know. But with the whole thing about the LAPD movie, I thought that was cool, but I haven't heard anything from Zack. Zack's been very, very quiet, which is perfectly fine. He needs some time off. He did like a year. I mean, pretty much a year. Almost a year, I guess you could say. Maybe not almost a year, maybe like 6. I mean, straight up, just Rebel Moon from last year into this year, stuff like that. He needs a break. All right, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties and everything, but we got through it. We're good. Hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Members, look for the link on your feed. You can join the members only stream and pick my brain a little bit and everything. So. We'll do that, and then, of course, DC Fanimated will be at 8 o'clock Pacific time, so tune into that. We're going to be talking about the new Batman Adventures, Mad Love. That's right, the Joker and Harley Mad Love episode, which is a pretty damn good episode. All right, guys, members, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Everybody else, I'll see you either tonight or Friday for the VOD stream. All right, love ya. Talk to you later.